Hey guys, Silver Shady here. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemonday. And today we're going to be taking a look at Waterbox featuring Lapras GX. This is a deck that, at least online, has been running around rampantly. Uh, so we're just going to take a quick peek at this. The main attacker being Lapras GX, 190 HP Water type. It's basic. For 1 Water Energy, collect draws you 3 cards. It's a good setup attack if you need to. We also have Blizzard Burn for 3 Water Energies, doing 160 damage, and this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. We do have a couple of ways around that, but yeah. And then lastly, its GX attack being Ice Beam GX for 2 Water and a single colorless, doing 100 damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now auto-paralyzed. It does have a 2 retreat cost and a weakness to Grass, so Decidueye is going to give us a couple issues, but yeah, very nice and beefy attacker for this deck. We also run 2 copies of Glaceon EX as a secondary attacker. Main reason we run it naturally is for the 1 Water and double colorless Crystal Ray for 70 damage. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from evolution Pokemon. Also, if you need to, you can also, for 1 Water and 1 colorless, do Second Bite. Does 20 damage, and this attack does 10 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. But it does have a weakness to metal, so that is one thing you do have to keep in mind. If you, on the off chance you do happen to see a Solgaleo, if you don't use Crystal Ray, it will eat this thing alive, but what are the odds you're going to see that? Anyway, lastly, for mobility, we have 2 copies of Manaphy EX, 120 HP basic Pokemon EX. Its ability, Aqua Tube. Each of your Pokemon has any water energy attached to it, has no retreat cost. This is actually really good for, just in general, use a Blizzard Burn. If you have a second Lapras set up on your bench, you can retreat into that one and just keep swinging. And then for 2 Waters, Mineral Pump for 60 damage, and you heal 30 damage from each of your benched Pokemon. So. We also run 1 copy of Shaman EX for draw power, and then a 2/2 Octillery line for additional draw power. So. And getting into our supporters here, we run 4 copies of Professor Sycamore, 3 copies of N, we run 1 copy of Professor Kukui, 1 Pokemon Ranger. Pokemon Ranger is a really good card for this deck. If you can't do the whole switch into another Lapras GX, you can use Pokemon Ranger to remove all effects of attacks on each player and his or her Pokemon. So really nice to remove the effect of Blizzard Burn. We run 1 copy of Pokemon Center Lady, 1 copy of Olympia for additional mobility, and then 1 copy of Ninja Boy. One thing that this deck does need, it does need at least 1 copy of Lysander. I have been trying to figure out exactly where I would fit that in, but I am having a little bit of difficulty with that. If you guys want to take this list and try it out yourself, you definitely are going to need a copy of that. I mean, you might be able to cut a copy of Professor Sycamore for it. But anyway, moving on to our item cards, or our stadium next. We play 3 copies of Rough Seas. Once during each player's turn, that player may heal 30 damage from each of his or her water Pokemon and electric types. So, really good for just keeping damage off our board, which this deck does pretty well. On our items, we run 4 copies of Dive Ball and 1 copy of Ultra Ball. We run 1 copy of Energy Retrieval and 1 copy of Energy Switch. We also run 3 copies of Max Elixir to try to get energy onto our board as quickly as possible. And 1 copy of Escape Rope as well. We also run 2 copies of Super Rod and the standard 4 count of Versus Seeker. As for our tools, we run 2 copies of Experience Share to try to keep energy on our board, and 3 copies of Fighting Fury Belt. Lastly, to round out the list, we have 1 copy of Splash Energy and 10 basic water energies. I have been playing around with this deck a little bit. Originally, when I first had tested it out, I did have Lysander in here. I noticed it really wasn't all that useful with the deck. Now, not having it, I've gone back to the point where, yes, it still needs Lysander. There are definitely a couple of cards you could cut from this. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the deck. Then again, it's not really my kind of playstyle. Normally speaking, I would be taking this deck and bringing it into a tournament to show you guys how it runs. However, I am a little bit crunched on time today, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But I did at least want to show you guys the deck list and give you guys an idea of what I've been working with. This is yet another work in progress deck. I haven't really had much time to fully test a lot of these Sun and Moon decks, but yeah. Again, I'm not a huge fan of it, but either way. Anyways, that just about does it for today. Your code card for the week should be showing up on the screen right about now. Should be another pack of Sun and Moon. Again, I hope you guys get good pulls out of it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.